Well, found me a nice little F-body Firebird at a price that I thought was okay for it. All the body panels are good. No dents, backlights, ground effects, bumpers, things like that, all in good shape. But it was leaking into here, and the water level, well, it's probably up to about here or here. So I drained all that out, and I'm kind of letting things dry out. So you can see it's been in there for a while. That's going to have to be cleaned. But other than that, pretty decent. What you could expect for a car this age. But there's a couple of things here. Obviously this I'm going to have to tack in. I'm going to have to stretch that and hold it because it's, as I pull that in, we can see the other areas come up, so I'm really going to have to do some stretching to get that pulled in and sealed down. That's probably part of the reason for the water, but when I lifted it up here, lifted the top up, I could see water draining from here. I can see some stains where it comes down here and then flows down, so likely the glass in there needs to be sealed because it's leaking somewhere from there and getting in. But I've got some sealant on the way, and I'll be working on that and figure out how to get this off and get into that and put some sealant in there. It used to be red, obviously. Somebody didn't want the red and went through a spray can of spray paint and painted it up. Probably looked good when they did it. But we can see the interior red and everything else is red on it. The inside's not too bad. They had a stereo in here at one time and a woofer. The seats are in decent condition. I got another one of these on the way. The armrest, it's broke. The ashtray cover is broke. I got another one for it. Cleaned up a lot of the stuff in here. My daughter did. But the only issue with it, and of course there's always an issue when you're paying a good price for anything used. Only got one key. I programmed the fob, it now works, but the door key, which wouldn't have been bad, I could have replaced, but the T-tops also have a locking key, which is likely the same key. So once I get the title in hand, I can go to the GM dealer and get a new key made for that. But oil change, check gauges. Let's see, starting it up, it'll start up and doesn't run too long before it actually dies. I was hoping the battery would be a little bit better, but it's not. I've had it unplugged while I'm letting it sit to air out. So it lasted for about 2 days. Now I've got a jumper on it. I may need to let it sit for a moment. Yeah, the jumper was dead, so I got this one that's been sitting on the charger. Now I gotta find some jumper cables. Alright, we'll see how this does. Can kind of hear the fuel pump going up. Come on. There we go. Check engine lights out. Oil change is still there. It's not sounding too bad. I can tell a slight miss, maybe. I don't even want to call it a miss. Just an imbalance. Could be just a spark plug or something like that. But there, it's leveling out. Small vibration through the car. Surprised it's running this long. Now, I don't know if it'll pick up on the microphone in here, but I can hear what sounds like a vacuum, very small vacuum leak. And I don't know where that would be at. I haven't taken this off to see if it's run by vacuum. I know a lot of them are, but I don't know if those are vacuum lines that are colored. Very, very thin line, but may not even be there. Looks like a mouse was living in here at one time. I can hear a change in the engine from the exhaust, although know what that's from. Oil change light is out. Again, it doesn't normally stay running this long. I can still hear a hiss. A vacuum leak under the dash is never the place you want a vacuum leak. Let's take a look at the engine. It's nice and steady. EGR valve has recently been replaced. .3800 Series 2. And it's making a liar out of me right now. Usually it would sputter and die after a couple of minutes. And I haven't really done anything to it anywhere that would cause it not to keep doing it. I mean, the night they brought it over, same thing, it would die after being started. That's a little bit warmer out. 70 versus 50, maybe that has something to do with it. and the lights worked when they dropped it off. And then of course the next day or a couple of days later, I go in and I'm fiddling to try to turn off the dome lights so I can open the back and let it air out. I managed to hit the driver or the light switch. The lights come up, they work. Turn them off. The right one goes down, the left one stays up. I can hear it trying to close, but it's not grinding. It just seems like it's stuck on something. I don't know. So you don't want to go down. Take it off and take a look at it. Who knows? And of course it's still running like a charm. Let's go rev it up a little bit and see what happens. By the way, the Flowmaster exhaust, it's only a V6. Really impressed with the sound. I know it's a V6, it's not a racing car or a Hemi, but that exhaust makes it sound really nice. Kind of a slight hesitation. You see that dip down? So that really, in my mind, makes it seem like a vacuum leak. What's that at? About 5, maybe 800. Put it in gear and see what happens. Seems fine. Reverse. The RPM needle is pretty steady. It's not bouncing around. None of the other needles are really bouncing around. Batteries, or the alternator's just over 13. So that tells me it's at least charging. They said they drained the fuel out and put new fuel in it. So other than a vacuum leak, I'm thinking maybe a fuel pump, but I haven't really checked. It did come with fuel injectors he was going to replace because it did sit up. Last time it was registered till May of 21. Who knows when they stopped driving it prior to that, really. So it has been sitting, but it was understood that they'd drain the gas and put fresh in it. I don't know. Wasn't there when that happened. Back into park. Yeah, there's just a slight hesitation as soon as the gas is pressed. It's like the engine shuts off for a second, but doesn't stop turning and then comes right back on. So, to me it seems vacuum. But anyways, not too bad. For me, moreover than anything, I want to get the outside sanded and painted because I really like the look of these cars. So if nothing more, I got a nice looking car for the driveway, even if it never runs. But it would be nice to get this running and test her out reliably. Just gonna try some carb cleaner around here. What are you? You look like you're plugged up. Where the heck would that even go? Or is it a spare part? Windshield washer, maybe? Engine coolant. That's where the washer goes. Windshield fluid. I'm not really seeing any lines up to this side. One of the lines goes into this harness, and the others look like they go through the firewall. It's metal. I wonder what that is. Well, clear it's going to make a liar out of me. It's not shutting off. So we'll let it run for a little bit and I'll see. But yep, can't wait to get in and start sanding, and actually I can't wait to get it painted. Sanding sucks, but there it is.